Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and welcome to another Real Estate Talk with Beth, where it's the first Monday of the month, and we're going to talk market report from February.
Right. This is, with the first Monday of March.
First Monday of March.
And we're going through the month of February, and we are covering Bolivar Peninsula.
From where?
From the ferry to the Highland Turn, from the beach into the bay.
And I just have to say, because I'm bragging,
oh my gosh.
I hit my numbers.
This is not a good number. This is not anything to be proud of.
Well, I know, but what do you do?
I know. Well,
I mean, and this is my opinion. I'm not a realtor. I'm not a politician. But until the election's over, it's like that every year. Every time there's an election.
Yeah, it is an election year.
You've seen it, haven't you?
Yes.
In election years.
Gosh, we can talk about how long I've been doing this, 24 years.
We won't tell you how many presidents you've seen.
No, but an election year usually...
things slow.
Right. Well, there's uncertainty.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of uncertainty going on right now in the world. So I think...
I'm uncertain every morning.
Me too, when I wake up. Yeah. But I think that it plays a lot into real estate and what's going on.
Okay, let's look at the market report.
Okay, here we go. So, David, you did hit your number.
I hit my, and for those of you that hadn't been watching a long time, I think it was back in September or so, probably October.
I don't know where you're getting
at. When I made my prediction.
You made your prediction last year that we'd hit 300.
Yeah. And well, that's why I mean, the end of last year when we were talking about numbers were starting to go up. I said that before the end of the first quarter of 2024, we would be at over 300 houses. There you go. It's been actually averaging about 282, 287 in there, because some houses got off, and every time I thought we'd hit it, some houses dropped off and a few more added in, but it didn't knock it over that 300 mark.
Right, and I can't go back and look at this to see what trends were about houses going on the market, but typically across real estate, you do see more houses tend to go on the market around spring break, because in a regular market,
they're getting ready for
well, I tell
school.
people, school, when school lets out, it's when people usually move. So put your house on about spring break, and then you're ready for that move, because people can go look at houses at spring break.
The beach is different.
The beach is different, but the houses do tend to go on the market still this time of year.
My prediction was people that bought a bunch of these houses at an elevated rate for rentals, and I've heard of some going on because they weren't making the money they thought they were going to, because we did have a lot of rentals go on the market last year.
Yes.
And so, anyway, that's enough of me babbling. Let's
so we have 309 houses on the market. Right, that's a lot.
Is that a buyer's market?
Well, we'll get
Hello.
there. We will get there. Okay, so the average price for the homes that are currently on the market is $387.
And that's from the beachfront.
Yes,
so beachfront's going to be probably 4.
I don't drill the averages down for the beachfront and down. We do the solds, but
that's the average on a home
flights,
sold.
David. That's enough.
Okay.
The average price per foot went up $11, which is not good. Not good. You know, this is what I'm going to say. Folks, if you're serious about selling, rip the Band-Aid off, stop the bleeding, get it sold.
Yeah. And that's every week we've talked about, you're going to have to, 1, market your house, 2, have a price. You can't just say, well, I just see if it'll sell, because it's not going to if you just throw a price out there. It's got to be in the ballpark.
It's got to be in the ballpark, yeah.
And that's where having a local realtor that can run the numbers and knows the market really dials it in.
On it, yeah. Because you'll see as we go further how many buyers there are out there.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not a lot. So we have 309 houses competing for those few buyers.
Yep, $11 a foot. Next.
So the number of houses on the market went up 33 houses.
Okay.
Compared to January, right? Okay, next. And the average sales price went down $57,682. That's compared to February. That says compared to February. It should be compared to January.
January.
Right. The average sold is $325 a foot.
And we just saw a slide that said it went up $11.
Right.
Okay.
That was for the average houses on the market.
Okay.
So the average price per square foot went down $64.
$4.
Right. I think we're out of sequence here.
Maybe I put them in wrong. I thought I put them in right.
The number of homes sold is 8.
Is that closed or that sold?
Those are closed.
Closed, okay.
Yeah, so
We had 8 new home buyers in
we had
February.
8 home buyers in February. So out of those 309 houses that are on the market, there was only 8 buyers out there.
Yep, 301. Hey, at least we sold 8. It would have been at 317.
True. So the average sold is 537.5. That's the
Okay.
537.5 number. Sold. We have 34 months of inventory. That's a buyer's market.
Man, that's past the buyer's market.
that's bad.
Wheel and deal of something.
Yeah.
Are you seeing people really wheeling and dealing? You know?
Yes. There was a house that sold. It was front row, and I think it came down like $70,000 off the sales price.
Okay.
So they had it priced $70,000 over what they sold it for.
Okay.
The average days on the market is 187 for the sold property. So, folks, if you're thinking about selling, you're looking at about 6 months to sell.
Man.
It's a long
Man,
time.
it was like 24 hours 2 years ago.
I know.
And now it's up to 6 months.
Yeah, well, times have changed. We did have 14 houses that went under contract. We have seen some activity. So when I said there was only 8 buyers out there, really there were 14.
Yeah, because those were the ones that closed. These are the ones that actually went under contract.
So we are seeing more activity, more showings. We had that showcase of homes this past weekend. We had a ton of people come through there. So there is some activity out there.
People just have a lot to choose from.
They do.
Okay.
They have a lot. We had 54 homes that expired, terminated, or withdrew, but we're still looking at 309 houses on the market. So I have a feeling those houses went back on the market.
Okay.
Which extends that number of days on the market. Mm-hmm. So as far as what did sell, on beachfront, we had one that sold for $64?
A square foot?
Yes. And that's down. First and second row, we didn't have anything sell. A third and back, there were 6, and the average was 306. And then Bayside, we had 1.
1 and 305.
And the average was 305, yeah. So that's a slow.
Okay.
Okay, so the statistics, boy.
Well, there's a long, big gap in there.
Yes, and you could see, you know, we were low back in 2020, the beginning of 21, and then we started to creep up. And now we're starting to come down some. We're not down to where we were pre-COVID, and I just don't see us getting there.
I hope not, because we're doing a lot of marketing for Bolivar.
Well, everything has gone up. Inflation has gone up. The cost to build a house has gone up. So I don't think we'll get pre-COVID numbers.
I'd like to see what the price difference is per square foot from July 2019 to present.
Well, it's there.
Is it?
Well, what year?
Of 2019.
I don't have 2020 on there.
Yeah.
So the price per foot was what is that?
$285 or something.
$285, and then to today is $386. Is that right?
I don't know. I can't see that far. Rachel, what is it? 346.
Okay, so Rachel's our what's her title?
She's our production
manager. So
girl.
She sits over there in the quiet, but she can see those small little numbers. I can't.
I know. Okay.
So that you can kind of see the trend, and that we are
starting to come down a little bit.
Yeah, boy, in 2022 though, there was 44 houses that sold.
That was
in February.
Yeah, but that was right there where everything just opened wide open. I mean, it was. In fact, I can remember saying, okay, Beth, what house are we going to do for next week? And you'd say, I don't know, because we put them on MLS and they're gone in 48 hours.
And sellers were calling me saying, what should I list at? Well, just throw a number out there.
Yeah, just throw a number, because they're buying everything.
Yeah. So it's not that market now.
No.
Now is the market where you have to look at the numbers. You have to really be aggressive.
Look at the amenities. Look at your amenities. Market it.
Yeah,
You
and be
can't
smart when you put it on the market.
Yeah, and put it at a price that
is reasonable.
Because we're not, the ones that they just throw a price out, or they've got, a lot of people down here have sentimental value in their homes because their families grew up there. And so they typically want to price it higher, and you have to take the feelings out of it.
Right.
Because it's a home when it comes down to it. And if
there's a saying, I mean, it's an emotional transaction when you sell a home. And we have to be aware of that when we're dealing with our clients, because to us it's business, but to them it is emotional. And sometimes you can look at a seller and say, hey, I understand, but think of it, you've already moved, you already made this decision. It is a business transaction.
Right.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard for people.
Well, if people, is that the last slide?
No, there's one more.
One more.
There it is.
It's not scrolling across, but it's got We Sell Crystal Beach. And that's how, if you have any questions on real estate, maybe you're thinking about selling your home, or you want to buy a home, maybe you want to get into short-term rental, you can give Beth a call, find out all her information there on WeSellCrystalBeach.com. This is a weekly show on the first Monday, and we pushed it this week because Monday fell on Friday and getting everything together. But on the first Monday, we typically do a market report for the previous month. And that way you can sort of keep up with the trends on what's happening down here.
What's coming on the market, what's
taking off, what's sold, what are prices doing. Plus, the good part is you can always get hold of her and give her a call and dial it down to maybe your subdivision or your home. She may know your home because she's all over. So anyway, remember, Bolivar Live is always on our social media channels, but the best way to watch us is on YouTube and Bolivar Live TV, and now on Roku and Amazon Fire. It's a free download. You can see us anytime. Any last words of wisdom?
Say a prayer for those people out there in those wildfires.
We were just talking about that, the wildfires, And I don't really, I'm not close to them, but one of my cousin's kids lived up there somewhere, and they lost their house and everything. And so we were talking about it this morning.
We've seen our fair share of disaster here. So
it's just, all I can say from voice of experience is, put your head down to the grindstone and build it back better, because Bolivar's a first-hand deal on, wipe off the map just about and building back. And, FEMA actually did a study on Bolivar, why it came back so quick. They stayed down here an extra year, and it was because the businesses came back.
And the people.
Well, the businesses came right back. Like, I can remember the first store we had was a travel trailer on the side of the road where you could get milk and eggs and bread. And Keith came back. We did a show on that the other week, 2 weeks ago, on what he came back with. And it was building supplies first, because that's what people needed. Then he came back with the groceries and went from there. Stingray opened up, I want to say, February 14th.
That's amazing.
In 2019, or 2009.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just snowballed, and now we're back full speed. More houses than we had before. We've passed that up. So
better houses too.
Bigger houses.
Well, I mean, the building codes are better. That's a different show, though.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to head on out. We'll see you next Monday at 11 a.m. with Real Estate Talk with Beth. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. 110 Realty Group on Bolivar Peninsula, located in Crystal Beach, Texas, believes finding the perfect home or property is a necessity for every client. That it's crucial to provide relevant, up-to-date information on the market, properties, and homes for sale to each and every seller or buyer. Keeping up with the market in today's world is how 110 Realty Group exceeds expectations for their clients. 110 Realty Group in Crystal Beach, Texas are your real estate sales professionals, both in beach home sales and property sales. Finding the perfect custom home on Bolivar Peninsula is a specialty of Beth Terminella. Keeping up with the daily changes and available homes, properties, and the changing market makes 110 Realty Group the choice for several custom builders for spec homes and investors looking for short-term rentals, along with home buyers looking for that perfect beach house for their family. 110 Realty Group for all your real estate needs on Bolivar Peninsula, in Galveston County, and across Texas.